Hey smart buddies, let's get back to school and know more with the smart slate. Today we'll know more about pronoun and classification of pronouns. So pronoun is nothing but a word used in place of a noun like he, we, she, it, they, you, I and other such words. Classification of pronouns. So pronouns are generally classified into 9. The very first is personal pronouns, empathetic pronouns, then is reflexive pronouns. Fourth one is demonstrative pronouns. Fifth one is indefinite pronouns. Sixth one is distributive pronouns. Seventh one is relative pronouns. Eighth one is interrogative pronouns. And the last one, that is ninth one, is exclamatory pronouns. We'll understand them one by one. So it's your puppy. In this image you can see it's or it is. So it here becomes pronoun. Personal pronouns. Personal pronouns stand for the three persons like first person, second person and third person. It has the same number, gender and case as its own. It is in the nominative, objective or possessive case when used in a sentence. Nominative, objective or possessive or accusative case means here you can understand with the help of a table that we have singular and plural of the word pronoun. So for I in the singular sense we can use in the plural sense we. For me it is us and for my or mine it is our or us for the first person. Next is for the second person in the singular you can say you or your or yours and in the plural you can say you and your or yours. In the third case, that is third person, in the singular we have he, she or it and in the plural we have they. Because we are pointing out at third person, like they said something to her. So here it's not the second person but the third person. And for him, her and it is them and his, hers or her or its, it is theirs. Moving ahead, the first person here is the speaker, second is the one who's spoken to, the third is the one who's spoken about. Possessive adjectives are my, our, your, her, and their. Possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns are often used depending upon the case, like his and its become common here in both the case. But it depends on the usage in the sentence whether it is used as an adjective or a pronoun. Like these are her belongings is a possessive adjective here. Her becomes here possessive adjective and these belongings are her. So here it becomes possessive pronoun. The dog is wagging its tail. Its here become possessive adjective but its tail is wagging. So here it's become your possessive pronoun. So first person is the speaker, second is the one who is spoken to, third is the one who is spoken about. Then we have possessive adjectives which can be used as possessive pronouns depending upon the usage, and last was the example. That was quite easy. Moving towards the second type is reflexive pronouns. So reflexive pronouns are nothing but when the action done by the subject affects or reacts or reflects upon the subject. So when the action reflects upon the subject, that is the noun you can say or the person who is doing something, it is reflecting upon the same person. The addition to self and selves to the various compound personal pronouns helps to produce a new meaning and quite different emphasis. Compound pronouns are derived when these words are added to the personal pronouns like self or selves. For example, my, myself, her, herself, our, ourselves. You can see they painted the mural themselves, he washed the car himself, and you eat yourself. So this was all about reflexive pronouns. Next is demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are used to point out a thing or things commonly used in spoken language. So when you try to demonstrate something, when these words stand alone or are termed as demonstrative pronouns, like these, this, that, those, this is the best place to visit. So here this becomes your demonstrative pronoun. These are the bills of the last month. When these words are used with a noun, they become demonstrative adjectives. Like this place is the best to enjoy summer vacations. Now this here is used with noun, you can say place. This place. So here when it is used with an adjective with the noun, it becomes demonstrative adjective. But in the earlier case it was used with a verb. So it was demonstrative pronoun. Look at those dirty shells. So look at those dirty. So here dirty shells. So shells again is a noun. So those is those is used to denote shells. So shells again becomes your noun. So here those and this becomes your demonstrative adjectives. So this and these were demonstrative pronouns, and this and those here in the second case is your demonstrative adjective. Indefinite pronouns is the next. So indefinite pronouns are used to denote persons or things in general way, like all, some, few, everyone, everybody, nobody, many, none, etc. Everyone witnessed the incident. Nobody cares about the environment. One must eat nutritious food to stay healthy. So all these three sentences have everyone, nobody, or one. So such things are used in a general way to the general public, you can say, or in general sense, or in common sense, you can say. So such words become your indefinite pronouns. Next type is distributive pronouns. Distributive pronouns are used to denote persons or things one at a time. It is always used in a singular form. Verb following it must also be singular. Words like each, either, or neither you can say. So it is used in the form of a pronoun. Examples are: each one of you will be punished. Either of these dresses belong to John, or neither job offered suits her. So your each, either, neither, such words become your distributive pronouns. The same can be used as an adjective. Examples are: each man took his baggage. At either side was a rainbow. Neither research proposal was approved. So as an adjective here and as a pronoun, there is a difference. When it is saying each one of you, either of these, neither job. So when you are trying to denote a person or a thing at a time in a singular sense, then it is termed as distributive pronoun. That is, the verb used is also in the singular form. But in the adjective here, each man took his baggage. At either side was a rainbow. Neither research proposal. It is again used with a noun, so it becomes adjective. And here it is used with verb, so it is pronoun. So here a few examples like who, whom, whose, which, what, all comes under pronoun. Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are used to join together two sentences. Words like who, whom, whose, which, what, that. So as seen in the last slide, such words are relative pronouns. He lost a ring. It was made of gold. So he lost a ring which was made of gold, you can say. So here which is a relative pronoun which is trying to relate to things or which is trying to join two sentences. I saw a man, his head was bald. I saw a man whose head was bald. The relative pronoun can also be omitted, or you can say the relative pronoun, you can omit it. Like all the sacks of grains that he had grown had been spoiled. All the sacks of grain that he had grown had been spoiled. So here I have omitted the pronoun that. So instead of that, the sentence is written in the other way and still it means the same. So the relative pronoun also can be omitted. Next in line is interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are quite easy because pronouns which are used to ask questions are interrogative pronouns like who, whom, whose, which, or what. So So interrogative adjectives are whose, which and what. So we have 3 interrogative adjectives, whose, which and what. But in pronoun we have 5. Depending upon the usage they are classified, like whose passes this is an interrogative adjective. Which side of the bed will you prefer? Or what gifts do you want? Again it is used with noun, so it becomes interrogative adjective. But here, whom did you give the pass? Or who was the culprit? Or what is the scene? When such words are used with the verb like did, was and is, whom did, who was and what is, they become interrogative pronouns. And the interrogative adjective, whose pass, its pass here is noun, which side of the bed and what gives. So gives here again is noun. So such words become your interrogative adjectives. Next is exclamatory pronouns. So the last type, exclamatory pronoun, is quite easy when the pronoun is used as an exclamation or to express exaggeration. What? Won't she marry you? What? Can't she cook? So here what is used to exaggerate a situation or to exclaim out some feelings. So what becomes your exclamatory pronoun? That was quite easy. Empathetic pronouns. Empathetic pronouns are also easy to understand because here emphasis is placed. The suffix used here is self. So myself, I painted it myself. So this picture is painted by myself. When you say I painted it myself, I and myself, emphasis is placed on oneself here. Herself is the second empathetic pronoun. So she, herself, cooked the meal. She, herself, emphasis on she. Next is themselves. They themselves visited the museum. So they themselves visited the museum, emphasis on they. And the word used here as an empathetic pronoun is themselves. Like self is added. You yourself finished the food. When I say you yourself, so it's you, and emphasis is used using the word yourself. Self is added to you. So myself, herself, themselves and yourself become the empathetic pronouns. It's time to practice after finishing all types of pronouns. So here's an drill work for you all. Add self or selves to all these pronouns and try to make sentences. Second part is identify and classify the types of pronouns. So in each of the sentence you have to identify and classify the types of pronouns. I hope you understood the pronouns and classification of pronouns. Do answer these sentences in the comment section. Thank you. Keep learning, keep growing, and stay subscribed.